This video covers a very common question, which is how do I assess for AI opportunities within my operations? I see a lot of people may talk about AI automation or automation in general and the kind of builds that are out there, but in today's video I just want to make sure that I give you a simple roadmap in order to not only prioritize your builds, but also to make sure that the ones that you do decide on are actually the most revenue generating for your business and your specific operation. All right, the first goal is to uncover any manual tasks that are causing friction within your operations. It's either to free up time or generate revenue, and there's no other category which these automations fall into. The first question that you want to ask yourself is, what is your most repetitive task? And in this case, we want to also take a look at the trajectory of tasks that have happened not only today, but in your last working week, your last month, your last 3 months. In your case, that may be content ideation, scripting, writing VSL scripts for your newsletters, for your video letters, writing outreach emails, DMs, personalized DMs, sending all of those via your Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Ads Manager, whatever that may be. Dealing with invoices, proposals, any sort of task where you're going back and forth with your customer base, and also gathering insights from these customers. So giving out surveys, questionnaires, and trying to gather all that data and make use of it in a presentable format. This is, from my experience, what most people spend their time on. Now, once you've actually identified what it is that you spend most of your time doing during your working hours, you can take a look at the most repetitive tasks. And in this case, I have a checklist for you, so you can pause the video and see the sort of questions that I would ask here on screen. So, for example, is there any double data entry? Or just walking through exact steps for, let's say, your onboarding procedure, or what do you do when a customer asks for a refund? Just these like meta processes that all happen within your business. What are the steps that are involved? Step number 2 is to create process diagrams for your core business functions. I like to use Miro for this. I just chart out every single process, every single vertical that happens. And this is really powerful, especially when you get people involved. So not only what softwares do you communicate between, but also who do you communicate between, and who do you get approval from, who do you need information from in the business. And remember, we're mapping this out at this stage. We're not trying to find solutions just yet. Now, there's 2 main business avenues for any sort of service-based business. This is acquisition and delivery. And you can ask yourself questions like, how do you search or reach out to new customers? How do you actually sign them on? So again, the onboarding process, if you have one. And then for the delivery, how do you actually go about fulfilling your product or service? So these are just your guiding questions, but essentially between those 2 sides, you can map out your entire business functions on a Miro board. And also if you have conversion data, so percentage of people that drop out either through the first touch point, you can plug those in as well to give you a better idea of the bigger picture. Now, once you have these components mapped out, you can tag them. These are the 2 tags that I use, which is time sync and quality sync. Again, there's only 2 avenues that you can, there's only 2 inefficiencies that you can improve. It's either you spend less time doing something, or you improve the quality or volume of tasks that you do. And in our case, we're trying to categorize all of these tasks that we just mapped out into either one or the other. So either it's a time sync or a quality sync. Now to the final step, which is to create and filter for the highest return of solutions. We want to be able to identify which are the ones that actually move the needle for us and which are the ones that we shouldn't really be prioritizing at this moment. So I've given some examples here, one of them being bad ads management. This is a time sink because then you spend a bunch of time going back and forth between platforms and making sure that all the information is up to date. The proposed fix for this is an automated tracking analytics sheet. This goes for your ads as well as if you're doing media. A quality sync would be if you have missing sales assets, so for your sales letters, landing page, your email follow-ups, and also YouTube, so writing scripts for videos. All of this can be very easily automated using AI check-in reminders, follow-ups, and post-call analytics for improved close rates. Another one I see a lot is no sort of automation in the DMs, and it costs you valuable time reaching out to hundreds of people every single day in a personalized way as well. This is easily fixed using lead qualification and AI appointment setting in the DMs itself. There's many softwares that offer a solution for this. The most common one is ManyChat, or you can use VoiceFlow as well. And if you're still doing copywriting yourself, you can actually have AI assist you with that. It's not something where with just one prompt you can have a perfect piece of copy written for you, but it's more categorizing it and splitting it apart. So let's say you're doing an email, you can have separate agents that guide you specifically for just the title or just the header. Or just the body copy or a hook or whatever. And the main advantage with all these is that you can actually split test prompts. So for lead qualification in DMs or assisted copywriting, you can compare the conversion rate on 2 different prompts and then evolve the prompt from there. Okay, once we have these solutions, how do we actually know which ones to focus on now rather than later? And for this, we take impact versus effort. So this means for automated tracking analysis, the impact is rather low because it's just analytics in a dashboard. That's nothing new. And the effort to go through in order to actually connect all these is kind of high. And if we just fill these in for the other ones, we'll see that for something that has a high impact and low effort, well, that's obviously going to be something that's an easy fix and an immediate ROI winner. Next, we move on to the things that have a high impact, but a very high effort as well in order to implement, to build these systems out. But these are your main backend systems that will be much more sophisticated and will require a lot more testing. So these become your larger long-term moves, you could call them. And then the low effort ones are obviously nice to have, but they should never be your main priority. All right, I hope I've managed to break down the entire process, and I hope you can see the value of identifying high impact opportunities. And this 3-stage process is also the primer to the development services that I do. If you're interested in me doing this for your business, sitting down with you personally and looking into your operations and actually identifying these potential solutions for your specific case, or if you just have a question in mind, you can reach out through the first link in the description below. We can have a chat and I'll be happy to help you out. I hope this was of value to you, and thank you for your time.